creating cultural awareness and understanding. This is Culture Clique. Culture Clique is written and produced by KQAL-FM on the campus of Winona State University.
Today on Culture Clique, we talked with author and publisher Jenny Baertsch and illustrator Sara Pientok for the signing and launch of their first book, Junkyard Tough. They talked about their creative process, what they love about being able to share their work, and where you can find and purchase the book. I'm Brylee Harris. Stick around to learn more about Junkyard Tough from Jenny Baertsch on Culture Clique. I'm here with Jenny Baertsch and Sara Pientok, and what would you say made you guys want to get into writing and illustrating?
Well, I have always enjoyed writing. But it started to become more of a job than it did a hobby. And as I've entered adulthood and had kids of my own, they've really inspired that of getting back into writing, really just based on the type of books they enjoy reading, which are chapter books. But we were lucky enough to bring home a junkyard cat, and he had a series of wacky adventures that I put pen to paper and were able to weave his adventures into this fictional story, and before I knew it, I had this manuscript of this fun story of Junkyard Tough, A Tale of Bravery. Junkyard Tough is a tale of bravery, and we play on the word tale because it's about a cat. It's about a cat named Boots Meowington, and it's his journey. You laugh. Because he knows that Boots Meowington is our cat at home. So, but the cat in the book, he goes on a journey to understand what it means to be brave.
So as far as an illustrator, this is the first time that I've actually gotten to illustrate a children's book. I've just grown up with art my whole life. So it's kind of second nature to me to put pen to paper, pencil to paper, and insert them into a book. And I'm just really blessed and honored that Jenny chose me to go on this journey with her. And it's opened a door for me to kind of run with my own ideas and do maybe a couple of books and partner with Baertsch Books on some other things. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking forward to doing more as well.
And so you mentioned like your cat. Would you say that was probably the biggest inspiration for this book, or was there anything else?
Yeah, I think so. Boots, our cat, certainly was the one who sparked the ideas for the book. As you read it, there are certain parts that will be very special to my family because we know what's fact from fiction, right? But he certainly was my biggest inspiration. But like I said, having two young kids of my own that truly enjoy chapter books, it's something that I've always loved. I love Matilda. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I love all the Ramona books. You know, those are always parts of my childhood that I remember going to the library and checking them all out. So I think that was between the cat and my kids, and then just the desire to try something that I've never done before.
What do you guys like most about writing? And I guess now, because you said you write for your job right at the bank, so being more creative with that, what would you say is your favorite part about that?
I would say just that. What I do for a living is very corporate. And while I love my position at the bank and the opportunities that are there, but when it comes to being inspired by that and inspiring others, that's why I went this direction. And still working at the bank. I have no intention to leave, but I'm able to do this, and the bank supports me through having this side project where I can be fulfilling some of my own dreams, but also doing something for our community. Because as much as it's been something for Sara and I to celebrate, it's also been something for Winona to celebrate. And to have this local author that loves this community and wants to keep the book here, sell it here, visit classrooms, visit libraries, visit bookstores. The bank has been very supportive of me and my time needed to fulfill that.
And then you said that this was your first illustration project. What was your favorite part about it?
I think my favorite part was seeing Jenny's reaction and her kids' reactions too. They got really excited. And that's kind of what fueled me to keep going, seeing the support come through from my client, you know. And there were moments where it was really hard to put my pen down or my pencil down and try and make something happen. And I found that there were certain times of the day where I could not expect myself to draw a fuzzy, happy little kitty because I was like just beat down from the day. And everybody comes home from work and you're tired, and then sometimes the last thing you want to do is go back in and draw. And your hands are tired, and there were moments where my hands, like it's been a very long time since I've got to draw again. It's been since college, really. That's I'm not going to say how long that is.
Even longer for me.
But yeah, there were times where my hands would cramp, and it's like, oh my goodness, got to take a break. But I think seeing the reaction from my support team come through, and that's what fueled me to
She would send me pictures of her progress, and I would get a tin can, and I would get a pair of hands holding something. I wouldn't get a cat, and I was getting frustrated. I want to see a cat. I want to see a cat. And she was waiting. She was waiting till she had it right, because showing me a drawing of boots was a big moment. And she wouldn't send me a picture through the phone or computer. She wanted to show me in person. So I will testify to that. It was a big moment, and when she first showed me boots, it was a lot of celebration and surprise and excitement all rolled into one.
What would you say has been your favorite part about getting just to share your work?
Definitely keeping it here in the community. It is an interesting adventure publishing a book, because there are so many ways you can do it. And there is the traditional publishing route where you can query different agents and publishing houses and submit your manuscript, and that would be a wonderful experience, but it wasn't for me. I wanted to not only manage my process, but I wanted my community to be a part of that process. If I submitted it to a traditional publisher, they would probably assign me an illustrator. Publishing myself, I got to work with my best friend. Working through a traditional publisher, my book would be out in major bookstores and out on Amazon, and that's wonderful, but to have it in our local coffee shop and to have it be on the shelves of one of the biggest toy stores in the world, in Lark Toys, that was a dream come true. So my favorite part so far has been the support, not just from Sara and from our families and everyone who's been a part of the journey of getting the book produced, but also the community has just wrapped their arms around us and embraced it, and keeping it here and keeping it local was my dream, and it continues to be that dream come true. I have not seen it on a bookshelf yet. I cannot wait for that moment. I dropped them off, but I have not seen it, the spine of it, on the shelf of the library. And so Sara and I are making sure to celebrate these small wins, I call them. I can't wait to see it. I will document it with a picture and forever keep it, because what a dream come true to have your own book that you created and made be on a shelf where some young kid is going to come through and flip through it and say, "Mommy, Daddy, I need to have this." Oh, that to me is my favorite part.
It makes me so incredibly proud. To be honest, this is the second book that I designed. When I was in college, I got to partner with Bill Meyer and do a campus of trees at Winona State. So I was able to be a part of that project as well. And I remember that project just installing so much pride, and it was just so awesome to see hard work come to a final close, and it being, like I mentioned earlier, just it being done, and so now getting to see Jenny's book and working with Jenny on this, and seeing just her idea come in as visual communication, and just the visual form of her story is just really inspiring. And I've said this a million times, but I'm just so honored to have been a part of it. I mean, even this, like sitting down with the writer, illustrator and designer, sitting down with the writer and the author, that doesn't happen, in rare instances, and this is one of those beautiful rare instances. So it's pride, but like a good sense of wholesome pride for the work that you've done.
And so I know you said you're keeping it local, and you might have mentioned a few places already, but where can people go just to either read your book or buy your book?
So they could check it out at the Winona Public Library. It will become a part of the collection in the very near future. They can purchase the book at Blooming Grounds, Chapter 2 Books, the Winona County History Center's Museum, Visit Winona, Lark Toys. But you could always hunt me down and buy one from me personally or Sara as well. But also, if you visit my website, which is baertschbooks.com, go to the Buy Books tab, and you can purchase one right through PayPal through the website. There is shipping included in that, but it's an easy way to purchase if you're not local. But if you are local, I would say support those small businesses or find Jenny or Sara in person. And we're happy to also sign a copy of the book in that sense too. The ones in the bookstores will not be signed.
I think that's all the questions I have, but thank you guys so much for taking the time, and congratulations on your book.
Thank you. This isn't the end of the road now, it's just the beginning. And now it's time to spread it around and get it out in the world.
Thanks again to Jenny Baertsch and Sara Pientok for sharing more about their first published book, Junkyard Tough, today on Culture Clique. To keep up on all things Winona and the surrounding area, tune into Culture Clique Thursdays at 12:30 right here on 89.5 KQAL. I'm Brylee Harris, and we've been talking all about Junkyard Tough today on Culture Clique.
Creating cultural awareness and understanding. You've been listening to Culture Clique. Support for Culture Clique is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Culture Clique is produced by KQAL-FM on the campus of Winona State University. For more information, look us up on the web at kqal.org. And thanks for listening to Culture Clique.